Hoffman, Russian defender, now slapped back in by Philip Crowl. Loose in the corner is Martin Kaut. Works it back around that pass. Thrown back by Jakub Lauko, who's draft eligible for 2018. Marcel Sholikov works in for the Russians. He's moved off the puck and taken away by Crowl. Now picked up by Manukin. He's behind the goal, spins off of Czech and fires it right back in front. A shot taken there by Marcel Sholikov, turned away by Koronak.
So one good chance each, and a good stop by Koronak on the one-timer.
Long lead pass, just missed Clint Kostin. Kostin plays for San Antonio in the American League. Will have to go back to the Russian zone on the icy call.
What is Facebook?
Well, as you mentioned, Philip Hedl made the...
What is Facebook?
Oh, sorry, this is the Russian chance first as it comes out to the slot. Sholikov gets the cross for the pad stop, and this is a pretty nifty little move by Hedl as he slides it through Maltsev's feet, drives it straight to the net, and tries to go up over top of Melnichuk, who turns it aside.
Kostin stepped into Shalda there. Played back around by Ostap Safin, who plays for St. John in the Quebec Major Junior League. Talk, Ray, about the fact that Russians have so many 19-year-old players that is brought in by Hayamov. Shoots, and the save is made by Koronak. They also only have 3 right-handed shots on their team.
And there are some bizarre things that happen in an age-out tournament. You know, players play and then they disappear, and then you know, you've got the randomness of a birth year, the way a draft class goes. This year, as we're watching a warm-up, and they're all left-handed. It's pretty incredible. And the one thing that is constant, though, standing up on top of the bench is Valeri Bragin. And no matter what type of team the Russians seem to bring, Bragin is an excellent coach. He's able to make some adjustments on the fly, which is not always a hallmark of some of the old Russian coaches. And their teams always seem to hang around. They play hard. They usually get pretty good goaltending. While they might not be the strongest team offensively, they're not going to disappear.
And 1 goal the last 14 years. They won the bronze medal game a year ago against Sweden, silver the 2 previous years, bronze prior to that. The Russians have 3 leagues to work with now. The KHL, I mentioned the VHL, their second league, and the MHL, their Russian junior league. A number of these players, Ray, will play in all 3 leagues over the course of the year. Back to the point now to Nejov. Johnson goes for Zaitsev. So Zaitsev plays it back in the corner. Moved by Nejov. And brought back now by Budik. Wojtek Budik, who plays for Prince Albert in the Western League, brings it across the line, but the play is called offside. And a penalty coming to the Russians. 3 minutes and 19 seconds in.
Right at the offensive blue line, it's a hooking call for Alti Barmaki, and the Chicago 3rd-round draft choice. He's going to get nailed at the far end of the ice on the forecheck. There was another play at the blue line looked like was going to be called as well, but the Czechs will get their first power play of the tournament.
You've talked about it before, Ray, for a team like the Czechs who aren't expected to be a prime medal contender, 2 things, goaltending and special team. Back at the point, Kral fired that wide of the goal. Hedl. Back for Zakash. Zakash down the goal line to Hedl. That pass was broken up. And the man who broke it up, Makayev, plays that ahead to Abramov and back out.
Well, the first junior tournament that I did, Gordon, was in Edmonton and Calgary. Remember, the Czechs got into the medals, and it was Peter Mrazek who put on an unbelievable display. The Detroit Red Wings goaltender now. You get a power play, you got to score. You need your goaltender to make some saves and give you a chance to climb in the tournament.
Necas brings it in now. The Carolina first-round pick, Necas. Walks back in, plays it back down, and takes the return pass. Necas. Centering pass broken up there by Ivanov. Now played back to the point. Hayek. Back for Necas. Hayek winds and shoots. It goes off a leg and wide. Necas. Back to Pavlik.
You can see everything's going to go through Necas's hands here. Number 8, the Carolina pick.
And a backdoor pass and jammed up the side of the goal by Zadina. Philip Zadina, a great chance there for the Halifax Moosehead star, and he just missed. Now the centering pass, Netchas in scores! Martin Netchas, power play goal. The Czechs have taken a 1-0 lead.
The 12th pick in 2017, Martin Netchas, who played in this tournament last year, looks a little bit like David Krejci in the way he gets around the ice. Goes backdoor, just mishit by Zadina on the far side, but the Czechs get on the puck again, and the Russians are slow to react to it. The Czechs jump 3 guys onto the puck in the corner. This is a terrific feed from behind the net as Martin Cote gets to the loose puck, and Netchas is on the board. 5 minutes into the first period, the Czechs have a 1-0 lead.
Netchas actually played 1 game in the NHL in October for Carolina in Edmonton. Been playing for Kometa Brno in the Czech League.
He went to the American Hockey League, and then they decided to have him go back home. It's interesting in watching Netchas, even in this first shift. We saw him last year as an 18-year-old. Now we see him a year later. He looks stronger. He's more powerful, more sure, steady on his feet. It's amazing what a year's difference does at this time for a player.
Tillman's lead pass is broken up as Heedle plays it back. Chuck's last medal was in 2005 in Grand Forks, North Dakota. They won a bronze. Tillman throws that back in. The pass picked off by Zakat. One of the big problems with the Czechs, a lot of their top players have come to North America to play. They have a hard time getting cohesion. As play is called on the icing call, 14:45 to go here in the first.
Look at the work in the corner. It's a 2-on-2 battle, but the battle is eventually won when Martin Cote jumps into it. It's a 3-on-2. Netchas is in good position, camped out 15 or 20 feet in front of the goaltender, who really has no chance. Melnichuk is following the pass, can't get there in time, and Netchas puts it away rather efficiently.
Christian Reichel gets tossed out of the face-off circle. It's won by the Russian. Zaitsev plays it back, shoots, score! And the cross comes from Altibarmakian. And Polonian might have got a stick on that, and the Russians have tied it up quickly with an even straight goal. Shot was taken by Andrei Altibarmakian.
The Russians are going to win this face-off, and the Czechs don't get the puck back. Solid work on the draw. Altibarmakian is going to come from the inside into the middle. He goes from the inside back to the wall and circles back to the middle. There's the wrist shot. He shoots it right through the defenseman's feet. It's tipped in the slot, and then it's 1-1. 39 seconds after the Netchas power play goal. Pelodin tips Altibarmakian's shot, and it's 1-1.
And Ray, another part of that play, Reichel gets tossed out of the face-off circle.
Right.
They lose the draw cleanly.
And they don't, if it's the toughest ask for a winger on a face-off is don't get beat clean. If you lose it, that's fine if you scuttle the draw. That goes back clean to the defenseman. And that's a set play off the draw where Altibarmakian goes from the inside face-off circle all the way to the wall. He gets room to shoot it. It's tipped in.
Out throws it down, played around by Melnichuk. Again, a battle for loose puck, and Lauko was moved off it. Kaut again wins a battle for the puck in the corner. Martin Kaut, who set up the first Czech goal. Plays it back to the point for Hayek. Hayek's long shot, stopped by Melnichuk. Loose puck in front, tipped wide there by Reichel.
Ooh, that was an ugly rebound by Melnichuk. Not a real difficult point shot. There's some opportunity for an extra shot there.
And a 4-man scrum on top of the puck, and finally the play is called. 13:48 to go here in the opening period. A 1-1 tie. Netchas scored in the power play to give the Czechs the early lead. Excited or are you scared?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Last year, Chevrolet introduced the most meaningful trophy in hockey, the Good Deeds Cup. We gave Pee Wee teams across Canada one more goal to strive for, to make their community a better place. Best of luck to all the teams competing this year to perform the most impressive good deed in Canada. Chevrolet is proud to work with Hockey Canada to support the Canadian dream in communities across the country.
Maltsev's going to win the draw. Watch Alti Barmakian there, 16 white. He's on the inside. He's going to get lost towards the wall. And as the puck is moved from Zaitsev to Alti Barmakian, he's got all kinds of room to shoot it. He delivers it right through the feet of Kodatek. Now, it's a tough shift for Kodatek. He lost the draw. He doesn't block the shot. Alti Barmakian's shot goes straight through, and it's tipped right near the front of the net by Pelodin in the slot, and it's 1-1.
They've given Alti Barmakian the goal. They'll have to change that. And they made the Netchas goal unassisted, even though Martin Kaut passed with the puck.
It's early in the tournament. I guess these guys got to chop, get at it. Merry Christmas. Still the turkey coma, these guys.
Manulin plays it ahead and finds Georgi Ivanov with the plays offside at the Czech line. There was a time, Ray, when getting goals changed was next to impossible. Nino Niederreiter scored the overtime winner for the Swiss against the Russians in the 2010 tournament in Saskatoon in the quarterfinals to knock them out. It took months to get that goal changed.
Now that's pretty diligent work. Now it shouldn't really take that long. I mean, we got the video, which clearly deflected in front of the net by Pelodin.
So they've added assists to Kaut and Zadina on the Netchas goal. We'll see if they
So
change
they're getting there.
the Russian goal.
They're getting there.
And they've now given the Russian goal to Pelodin.
Easy.
You solved all the problems here in the first half hour of the broadcast. Well done. There we go. And again, plays it back down the Czech zone where Philip Kral of the Spokane Chiefs is back to pick it up. Kral joined Spokane in mid-October. Has 3 goals in 21 games for them. Hayek, the Saskatoon Blades. Works in and chips that down the Russian zone where Melnichuk is back to pick it up. Kind of bobbled out a bit to the corner. We saw a clumsy rebound earlier as well for Melnichuk. Back at the point, held there by Hayek, who puts it back down low. Evil picks it up, centers it, bouncing, puck loose, and they score! Batted home by Ostap Sapin, and the Czechs have retaken the lead as once again Evil drives the offense for the Czech Republic.
They were shorthanded, but this is 5-on-5 work. The Czechs get to the puck first, and the Russians never recover. Sapin, who's an Edmonton Oilers draft pick, the 4th rounder in 2017, got 32 points in 33 games in St. John in the Quebec League, comes in and bats this out of midair as the Russians are standing around trying to find the puck. They don't, in this top Czech line with Hedl and Safin have 2 goals already, 7.5 minutes in, and it's 2-1.
Pelodin for the shot, that goes off the side of the goal. Back at the point, Zaitsev played it back across, and that shot was blocked. Shots are 4-3 in favor of the Czechs, and a 2-1 lead. Andrei Vala of the Kamloops Blazers of the Western League plays it down and it's tipped away by Melnichuk. It's picked out by Pelodin as the Russian goal. Pelodin drops it back, and that shot taken by Alti Barmakian is stopped by Koronash.
Ostap Safin is 6'5", about 195 pounds, and when this puck bounces into the air, he's the guy that finds it first. The Russians are looking for it. Sholikov can't get to it quick enough. Safin whacks it out of the air off the one hop, and it's 2-1.
Faceoff wasn't done fairly. And again, we saw this. Reichel got kicked out earlier on the Russian goal. Now he's being booted again.
Right. Like most players in these tournaments, you have to, as they look at the clock and get it straightened out, you have to get a feel for what the standard is on the draw. They're far more tight in international hockey than they would be in North America, although For most of these players, that's not a factor, but there's a lot of them that do play in North America.
German Rutsov won that face-off, drops it back to Abramov. At the line.
Good
Check
hit.
where Havoc was spilled. Abramov brings it back for the Russians. Lost it at center ice. Kirovsky plays it back. One thing we've seen in the early part of the first period, Ray, is the Russians turn the puck over a lot.
Yeah, it's been an unfamiliar start for the Russians. Usually they play pretty organized. They move the puck. It's not that it's necessarily high skill like we used to back in the day, but they're usually really organized, and that's not been the case so far.
Took down by Manukin. On the quickly now is Georgi Ivanov. Plays it back. That hard shot taken by Artem Manulin. Kicked away. The loose puck in front, skipped away from Svechnikov. Another chance. And Kovac makes the stop, but this time hangs on.
Well, Manukin's going to get a chance from about 20 feet in front of the net. Forces Korenash into a right pad stop, but this has a chance to be about 7-5 tonight here. The chances are just grade A right in the middle. 3 of them for the Russians. 2 of them have been stopped by Korenash, including that one with the right pad.
Now Hedl gets tossed. So advantage Sholikov on this faceoff. And he wins it back to the point. Austin plays it back and backhand shot scores. Sholikov, there's the faceoff win and a Russian goal. And the game is tied at 2.
One of the unpredictabilities of this tournament, Gord, we talk about it year after year, is the mistakes that youngsters make when they're chasing the puck around. Sholikov is... And he gets free because Zakash, who's taking the draw for the Czechs, runs into his own player, Vala. The 2 of them run together, and by the time they can recover, wide open in front of the net is Sholikov. He takes the pass and spins and slides it right on the ice underneath Korenash, and it's 2-2.
So Ray, twice Czech centers have been tossed, and twice the Russians have scored.
And twice the Czechs haven't been able to sort out the mess that comes off the lost draw. That's a communication issue more than anything else, and twice it's burned the Czechs. They've had the lead twice, and now it's equalized twice.
And we're not yet midway through the opening period. You might want to revise your 7-5 estimate.
I meant by the halfway point here.
Zaitsev plays it back down the Czech zone, picked up by Andre Vala. And it goes to Shalda. I understand they call him Salda in St. John in the Quebec Major Junior League, but the Czech pronunciation is Shalda, so we'll go with that. A loose puck battle won there by Polonian, who threw that back in front. Picked up by Kaut. And Martin Kaut plays it back. Lots of emotion here in the first period. And the lead seesawing back and forth. And back goes Samarukov for it. Reaches Samarukov. Plays it back to center ice. Knocked down there by Hayek, who plays it back down to the Russian zone. Russia will play the Swiss on Thursday, Belarus Friday, then close out the round robin with a big game here on New Year's Eve against the Swedes. That's the last game of the round robin part of the tournament. German Rutsov takes that lead pass, works in, Rutsov in, and his stick held there by Polonian. That'll be a penalty against the Russians, and the Czechs are going back to the power play. 2-2 the score here in Buffalo.
Growing up, I wasn't the biggest kid. I was always smaller, and a lot of people kind of ruled me out. They didn't think I'd ever be a good enough hockey player. No kid should have to go through being bullied. My dad used to always say, for every good thing said about you, there's going to be 10 bad things said. So I've kind of used that to not get too down.
With an epic goal for Canada.
I've always believed good sportsmanship on the ice is important. It's even more important in social media. When you're on the ice, you're accountable for your actions. But online, people can hide behind their screens and get away with it. I don't think people realize the amount of power that they have. Rather than push someone down, together we can lift someone up.
The Russians are going to go to the power play. Mikhaev, a beautiful pass across the ice to Rupsov. And that beats the Czechs, and Safin has to turn and ends up getting the hook on Rupsov. But that's a gorgeous feed across the seam. That's about a 95, 100-foot pass right on the tape. Rupsov draws the penalty. The Czechs have a power play goal. This is the Russians' first power play of the tournament.
Prowls plays it around. The Czechs will clear it out. So the Czechs have a power play goal in the first period. Now the Russians' turn as Manulin plays it ahead. Well, there by Manukin, who plays it around. Svechnikov. Down to Ivanov. Manukin. Back at the point for Manulin. Manukin. Back for Manulin. A long shot through the traffic, and that went wide. Manukin trying to work that free. Left it down there for Svechnikov. Now Manulin plays it across. There promoted by Sokolov. Back for Manulin. Manukin. Down the goal line he goes. A centering pass hammered wide there by Ivanov. Good look there for Georgi Ivanov, and he hammered it wide. Now on the backhand, the puck played out by Galvash. Manulin throws it back, no one there, and a race for it now is Altibar Makian had to hustle back. Pavlik all over him, and now finally played back to an open wing as it's picked up now by Igor Zaitsev. Zaitsev, a New Jersey draft in the 7th round in 2017.
Plays almost every spot for the Russians. Power plays on the penalty kill. He's their leader 5-on-5.
Well, Maltsev plays it around. Barmukin now. Drops it back to Maltsev. We're back at the point. Zaitsev, a shot that goes off his skate. And Zaitsev back with it. Down to Polodium. Zaitsev. Takes the return pass. Zaitsev a long wrist shot. The save made by Koronak. He'll hang on to that.
Good puck movement for the Russians. They had a couple really good chances. Ivanov had one a little earlier off the Svechnikov feed, and there's Zaitsev with the point shot. He plays at the KHL in Dynamo Moscow, and you mentioned they were the 7th round pick of the Devils last June.
The captain of this Russian national junior team. Elazarov. Plays it back in behind the goal. Scooped up there by Kayamov. Marker Kayamov. Knocked down there by Hayek. Netchaz plays it up shorthanded for the Jacks. One shot on goal now as the penalty expires for the Russians on that first power play. 7 to go here in the opening period. A 2-2 tie. The Czechs have led the game twice. Long lead pass for Zadina. He misses that. Icing call against the Czechs, so the face-off back down to the Czech zone.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Home Depot. With our wide selection of top brand appliances, nobody beats our prices. Guaranteed.
Still to come today in Buffalo, Canada and Finland will play in this building, as will Denmark and the United States. And Belarus will take on Sweden at the Harbor Center right across the street. The entire tournament being played in a 2-block area.
It's cold outside. That might be a long 2 blocks. Walking from one rim to the next.
Rupsov in for the face-off. This time was won cleanly by Zadina. Loose puck in front. A great chance there for Sokolov. Turned away in time by Koronak. Abramov works it back in front. That time the pass is picked off and brought out by Pavlik. Another great look for the Russians in the slot.
The Czechs have given up 8 shots. I want to say 5 of them have been dead center, grade A chances. Bragan is giving it to his team.
Mikheyev.
In other words, they weren't the right spot.
Ivanov brings it in, but the play is called, and a slashing call will go against the Czechs as the Russians will go back to the power play in a 2-2 tie. Moments after, the Russians had a great chance there from Sokolov.
Share a Coke with someone special this Christmas.
Christian Reichel in the penalty box for the Czechs. A slashing penalty been called. So tied 2-2. The Russians will go back to the power play. Reichel had slashed the stick out of the hands of Ivanov coming over the blue line.
You mentioned Christian Reichel's father, Robert, a great international player. Christian was born 4 months after his dad won a gold medal for the Czechs at the 1998 Olympics in Nagano. Robert Reichel scored the only goal for the Czechs in the shootout win against Canada. See by Mukin. Back across. Kayamov with it. Kayamov walks right in, shoots, and that shot was blocked by Gelda. And rebound cleared down the ice. Russians have the last 6 shots in this first period. Away comes Clem Costin, first round pick of the St. Louis Blues in 2017. Costin works in a backhand shot. Stopped there by Goranak. What a move by Costin. Plays for San Antonio in the American Hockey League. Kayamov. Back for Zaitsev. Cross he goes for Knajov. Hard shot by Zaitsev goes off the stick, over the glass and out.
Last year, Klim Kostin had shoulder surgery, missed most of the season, and he dropped in the draft. They felt he was going to be a lot higher in the draft, the consensus was. He went to St. Louis at the tail end of the first round in the trade that they picked up that pick for Ryan Reeves. Ryan Reeves traded from St. Louis to Pittsburgh, and they took Klim Kostin, and they feel they got 2 real high-end players in that draft last year. Robert Thomas, the center from Canada, we'll see again later today, who's a terrific player, and Costin in last year's first round.
Zaitsev knocked down that clearing attempt, plays it there for Polajan. Polajan back for Zaitsev. Takes the return pass, plays it back across. Maltsev drops it back. Vermakian back to Maltsev, a wrist shot, that was partly blocked by Nechak. 35 seconds to go in the Russian power play. Here's Zaitsev with it. Cross to Knajov, to Zaitsev. Vermakian. And shoots, that deflected just wide. And Kornash able to hold with 18 seconds to go in the Czech penalty to Christian Reichel.
Altibor Makian has an assist on that first Russian goal, but I like the movement they had on that power play. Maltsev, who ended up getting the rebound opportunity near the net, he started out in the high slot, the very high slot. He's going to work his way all the way to the front of the net. Now he's in front of the net. 5 seconds earlier, Maltsev was out at the top of the circles. Really difficult for the penalty killers to get a handle on that.
Walk up, plays it across. Hard shot there by Mikheyev. Here designed by Kornash. Final seconds now of this power play. Sokolov takes the return pass. Rink winding goes to Mikheyev. Walking right in, winds and shoots. And Kornash makes the stop as Reichel steps back on the ice. 1 shot on goal for the Russians on that power play. The shots are now 9-4 in favor of Russia.
The Czechs had to make a change as one of their players had lost his helmet. And you have to come off the ice immediately. You see him go right off the ice. He skates right by the defender. He can't touch the puck. He can't defend him because he doesn't have a helmet on. And that allows the Russians to move the puck into the slot. Mikheyev to get a shot from about 25 or 30 feet.
A sharp angle shot taken there by Manukin. Here by Kornash. He stops the rebound as well. We remember Julius Honka playing for the Finns a couple of years ago in this tournament. He was playing in the American League at the time. Kept playing with his helmet on, took a penalty, and the Finns gave up a game-tying goal late because of it.
Yeah, I believe they were shorthanded at the time, and he was battling away in front of the net. His helmet fell off, and he kept in the play. And now, had that Czech player going to the bench, Kodatek, touched the puck, they would have been called for a penalty. So he had to skate, as you saw, literally right past the Russian defender.
Reichel shot of the face-off circle again.
They might as well not even have him take a draw. That's 3 times he's been kicked out in this period.
This time, Martin Kaut wins that draw for the Czechs. They play it ahead. Got in by Lauko. Jakub Lauko. His pass broken up. Hayek spins back to the loose puck. Lead pass to Reichel, who knocks it in.
Since Ostaf Safin gave them a 2.
Ran headlong.
He didn't look real comfortable making that.
Play time to carry over into the second period for the Czech. Depelev doesn't clear it out. 1 shot on goal for the Czechs on that power play. It remains 2-2. Down to 7.
2 terrific plays by Martin Kaut.
Go by Pavlik.
Along with Pavlik. He might get a rebound. It's not the same.
Needle walks out, sends it. Their first time. Scanned in the first period. The puck is knocked down with a high stick, and now.
And it's the Russians will have 6 skaters on the ice.
Now a chance for the empty net. For Karofsky working in. Karofsky bumped there by Zaitsev. Ivanov plays it around. He's picked up by Sioma, but he can't get out. Zaitsev sealed him as well. Manukin apparently coming down the Czechs. And they'll wait till 7 seconds to go, but now the face-off will come down to the Czech end.
You wonder why young coaches get old? Here's an example of it here. This is outstanding work by the Czechs. Knocking down behind the net.
The Swedes on Thursday. The Russians have Switzerland that day, so the Russians fall to 0-1. The Czechs are 1-0 here in Buffalo. We'll get the player of the game presentations now. And then the Czech national anthem. Easy to forget that Zaitsev, the New Jersey.
Championship from Buffalo, New York is brought to you by Esso. The Esso brand has fueled Canada's love of hockey for over 30 years. By Nike.